In the world of luxury, one name reigns supreme: Bernard Arnault. From the runways of Paris to the global stages of fashion, Arnault has built an empire that controls some of the most coveted brands on the planet: Louis Vuitton, Dior, Fendi, and more. But behind the glitz and glamour lies the story of a calculated businessman who rose from a wealthy French family to become the richest man on earth. Through relentless acquisitions and strategic maneuvering, Arnault forged a vast luxury conglomerate, LVMH, now home to over 70 iconic brands. However, Arnault's grip on the luxury market doesn't come without controversy. From crushing competition to controlling market prices, Arnault has faced criticism for creating a near monopoly in the fashion world. His relentless pursuit of expansion has raised questions about the limitations faced by smaller brands and whether true creativity can survive in an industry dominated by corporate power. In this video, we explore the rise of Bernard Arnault, the empire he commands, and the darker side of the luxury fashion industry, where competition is stifled and the game is controlled by one man. Welcome to the world of luxury, power, and exclusivity. Rise to power. Bernard Arnault's rise to power in the luxury fashion industry is a remarkable story of ambition, strategic foresight, and ruthless business acumen. Born in 1949 in Roubaix, France, Arnault grew up in a middle-class family where his father owned a civil engineering company. From an early age, he displayed an interest in business and finance, often engaging in entrepreneurial activities with his siblings. His education at the prestigious École Polytechnique laid the groundwork for his future endeavors, equipping him with the analytical skills necessary for navigating complex markets. After graduating in 1971, Arnault joined his father's company, Arnault. He quickly proved his mettle by persuading his father to shift the focus from construction to real estate. By the late 1970s, he was leading the company into profitable ventures like timeshare properties. However, Arnault's ambitions extended beyond real estate. In 1981, he moved to the United States to explore opportunities in a more competitive market. During this time, he developed a keen interest in acquiring a business that had both French roots and international reach. The turning point in Arnault's career came in 1984, when he seized the opportunity presented by the French government's offer of subsidies to rescue struggling businesses. He acquired Boussac Saint Frère, a failing textile and retail conglomerate that owned Christian Dior, a brand Arnault had long coveted. With $15 million from his family and $65 million from Lazare Frères, he formed a holding company and took control of Boussac. His aggressive restructuring methods earned him a reputation as a formidable force in French business, as he laid off thousands of workers and sold off most of Boussac's assets while retaining Dior and Le Bon Marché. In 1987, Arnault played a crucial role in merging Moet Hennessy with Louis Vuitton to create LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. By 1989, he had successfully maneuvered to gain control over LVMH, becoming its chairman and CEO. His leadership transformed LVMH into the world's largest luxury goods conglomerate, overseeing more than 60 prestigious brands including Givenchy, Fendi, and Bulgari. Under Arnault's guidance, LVMH not only expanded its portfolio through strategic acquisitions, but also emphasized brand heritage and independence among its subsidiaries. Arnault's rise is characterized by his ability to identify lucrative opportunities and execute bold strategies that have reshaped the luxury market. His vision has propelled LVMH to unprecedented heights, solidifying his status as one of the wealthiest individuals globally, while leaving an indelible mark on the fashion industry. Business strategies. Bernard Arnault's business strategies have been pivotal in establishing LVMH, Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton, as the world's leading luxury goods conglomerate. His approach combines a deep understanding of brand heritage with innovative management practices, enabling him to navigate the complexities of the luxury market effectively. A cornerstone of Arnault's strategy is his focus on quality and craftsmanship. He emphasizes the importance of maintaining high standards across all brands under the LVMH umbrella. This commitment to quality is reflected in significant investments in production facilities and artisanal craftsmanship, ensuring that each product meets the luxury market's expectations. Arnault believes that luxury goods should not only be aesthetically pleasing, but also reflect superior craftsmanship, which has been crucial in building consumer trust and brand loyalty. Another key aspect of Arnault's strategy is his hands-on approach to brand management. He is known for being intimately involved in the operations of each brand, working closely with designers and marketing teams to ensure relevance in a rapidly changing market. This involvement allows him to maintain a delicate balance between preserving a brand's heritage and encouraging innovation. For instance, under his leadership, brands like Louis Vuitton have embraced new technologies, such as 3D printing, while still honoring their traditional craftsmanship. Arnault's acquisition strategy has also played a significant role in LVMH's growth. He has a keen eye for identifying undervalued or underperforming luxury brands with strong heritage and potential for revitalization. His early acquisition of Bussac, which included Christian Dior, exemplifies this approach. By restructuring these brands and investing in creative talent, Arnault has successfully turned them into global powerhouses. Notable acquisitions include Fendi, Givenchy, and Tiffany & Company, each strategically chosen to enhance LVMH's portfolio and market presence. Moreover, Arnault's ability to cancel licensing deals that he perceives as detrimental to brand integrity has been a hallmark of his strategy. This practice ensures that LVMH brands maintain exclusivity and control over their image, which is essential in the luxury sector, where brand perception is paramount. Arnault's vision extends beyond immediate profits. He emphasizes long-term growth and resilience. His acquisition of Tiffany & Company during the pandemic recovery period illustrates this forward-thinking approach. By expanding into high-end jewelry, Arnault demonstrated confidence in the luxury market's rebound and positioned LVMH for future success. Bernard Arnault's business strategies are characterized by a blend of meticulous attention to quality, hands-on brand management, strategic acquisitions, and a long-term vision for growth. These elements have not only solidified LVMH's dominance in the luxury fashion industry, but also set a standard for excellence that resonates with consumers worldwide. The dark side of the empire. Behind the glitz and glamour of the fashion industry lies a side you rarely see. From environmental destruction to exploitative labor practices, the truth behind your favorite brands is more complicated than it seems. What's the real cost of staying on trend? And how is the drive for profits pushing the industry into darker territory? Now let's deep dive into the hidden world of fashion, exploring how fast fashion, luxury empires, and consumerism are taking a toll on people and the planet. Psychological impact of luxury fashion. Luxury fashion often evokes images of elegance, status, and wealth. Yet its darker psychological impact can be profound and far-reaching. At its core, the luxury fashion industry thrives on exclusivity and the cultivation of desire, leading consumers to equate personal worth and identity with the brands they wear. This phenomenon can create an unhealthy fixation on material possessions, where individuals believe that owning luxury items is essential for social acceptance and validation. As a result, the pressure to possess these items can lead to feelings of inadequacy among those who cannot afford them, fostering a sense of envy and discontent. The marketing strategies employed by luxury fashion brands further exacerbate these psychological pressures. Through aspirational advertising, social media influence, and celebrity endorsements. These brands create a narrative that ties happiness and fulfillment to the consumption of their products. This constant barrage of imagery can induce feelings of anxiety and inferiority in individuals who may feel that they are missing out on an ideal lifestyle. The psychological toll of striving for unattainable luxury can lead to a cycle of dissatisfaction, where individuals become trapped in a perpetual state of wanting, resulting in stress and a diminished sense of self-worth. Additionally, the allure of luxury fashion can lead to compulsive buying behavior, as individuals seek to alleviate their feelings of inadequacy through material acquisition. This compulsive consumption is often a temporary fix, providing only fleeting moments of satisfaction before the cycle of desire begins anew. Over time, this behavior can lead to significant financial strain, contributing to a sense of guilt and regret, particularly among individuals who may already be facing economic challenges. The conflict between wanting to fit in with affluent peers and the reality of one's financial situation can create an intense psychological burden. Moreover, the culture surrounding luxury fashion often promotes unrealistic beauty standards and ideals of perfection. Individuals may feel compelled to alter their appearance, whether through diet, exercise, or cosmetic procedures, to align with the images portrayed in luxury marketing. This can lead to body dissatisfaction, low self-esteem, and even eating disorders as individuals strive for an unattainable ideal. The psychological impact of such pressures can be devastating, contributing to a negative self-image and mental health issues that extend far beyond the realm of fashion. Lastly, the exclusivity inherent in luxury fashion can lead to feelings of alienation among those who do not have access to these products. This sense of exclusion can foster resentment and division, as individuals may feel that their social value is diminished in environments dominated by wealth and status. The psychological ramifications of this alienation can be profound, leading to a lack of belonging and increased social anxiety, particularly in settings where luxury fashion is highly regarded. Environmental impact. The environmental impact of the luxury fashion industry, particularly under the leadership of figures like Bernard Arnault, is a growing concern that deserves attention. While luxury brands often tout their commitment to quality and craftsmanship, the reality is that the production processes behind these high-end goods frequently contribute to significant environmental degradation. From sourcing raw materials to manufacturing and distribution, each stage of the luxury fashion supply chain can result in detrimental effects on the planet. One of the most pressing issues is the demand for natural resources, especially in the use of leather, fur, and exotic skins. The production of these materials often involves harmful practices such as deforestation, habitat destruction, and overexploitation of wildlife. For instance, the cattle industry, which supplies a substantial amount of leather, is a leading cause of deforestation in regions like the Amazon rainforest. The environmental repercussions are profound as this deforestation contributes to climate change, loss of biodiversity, and disruption of ecosystems. Furthermore, the tanning processes used to treat leather can release toxic chemicals into water systems, polluting local environments and harming communities. Additionally, the luxury fashion industry is notorious for its high carbon footprint. The global supply chains necessary to produce and distribute luxury goods require extensive transportation, which contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. Even brands that promote their sustainability efforts often struggle to mitigate the overall environmental impact of their operations. While some companies are beginning to invest in more sustainable practices, such as using organic materials or implementing recycling initiatives, these efforts can be overshadowed by the sheer scale of production needed to meet consumer demand. Moreover, the fast-paced nature of fashion trends exacerbates the issue. Luxury brands frequently release new collections, pushing consumers to buy more and discard items more quickly. This culture of overconsumption not only fuels waste, but also encourages a throwaway mentality that contradicts the core values of luxury, which traditionally emphasize timelessness and quality. As a result, unsold inventory and discarded products often end up in landfills, where they contribute to the growing waste crisis. In conclusion, the environmental impact of the luxury fashion industry, particularly under the influence of leaders like Bernard Arnault, raises critical questions about sustainability and ethical practices. While luxury brands have the potential to champion responsible production and consumption, the current realities of resource exploitation, pollution, and waste highlight the urgent need for systemic change. Addressing these issues is not only essential for the health of the planet, but also for the integrity of the luxury industry itself. Ruthless restructuring. Bernard Arnault's rise to prominence in the luxury fashion industry is marked by his ruthless restructuring strategies, particularly during his acquisition of Boussac Saint Frère in 1984. At just 35 years old, Arnault recognized the potential within the struggling textile and retail conglomerate, which was losing money and burdened by a workforce of 20,000 unionized employees. With the backing of investment bank Lazare Frères, Arnault orchestrated a leveraged buyout that allowed him to gain control over Boussac for a mere $60 million, of which only $15 million came from his own funds. His primary goal was to salvage Christian Dior, the crown jewel of Boussac, while shedding unprofitable divisions. Upon acquiring Boussac, Arnault wasted no time implementing drastic cost-cutting measures. He laid off approximately 9,000 workers, sold off various textile businesses, and streamlined operations to focus solely on Dior and the Le Bon Marché department store. This aggressive approach earned him the nickname the Terminator, reflecting both admiration for his business acumen and criticism for his disregard for employee welfare. Critics argued that Arnault's singular focus on profitability overshadowed the human cost of such mass layoffs, raising ethical concerns about his methods. Arnault's restructuring tactics did not stop with Boussac. After playing a key role in the formation of LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, in 1987 through the merger of Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy, he continued to apply similar strategies to consolidate power within the newly formed conglomerate. By exploiting internal conflicts between the two CEOs, Arnault secured a controlling interest in LVMH by 1989. He ousted both CEOs and purged senior executives at Louis Vuitton, demonstrating a willingness to engage in cutthroat corporate politics to achieve his goals. Under Arnault's leadership, LVMH underwent rapid expansion through a series of acquisitions across various luxury sectors. His strategy involved identifying struggling brands with potential and revitalizing them through aggressive marketing and operational efficiencies. While this approach has been effective in transforming LVMH into a global powerhouse, reporting revenues of 86.2 billion euros, approximately $93 billion, in 2018-2023, it has also drawn criticism for fostering an environment where competition is stifled and smaller brands struggle to survive against such a dominant player. Bernard Arnault's ruthless restructuring strategies have played a pivotal role in shaping his empire within the luxury fashion industry. While his methods have led to significant financial success and brand revitalization, they have also raised ethical questions about the impact on employees and competition within the market. The legacy of the Terminator is thus one of both remarkable achievement and controversial practices that continue to define the landscape of luxury fashion today. Exploitation of labor. Bernard Arnault's luxury fashion empire, LVMH, Moet Hennessy, Louis Vuitton, has faced significant scrutiny regarding the exploitation of labor within its supply chain. Recent investigations have revealed troubling practices linked to the production of luxury goods, particularly in the context of LVMH's Italian subsidiary, Manufactures Dior SRL. This unit has been accused of outsourcing work to Chinese-owned firms that allegedly mistreat workers, raising serious ethical concerns about labor conditions in the luxury sector. In a recent ruling by a Milan court, it was found that employees working for LVMH's Italian subsidiary were subjected to deplorable working conditions. Reports indicated that workers were forced to sleep at their workplaces to ensure they were available 24 hours a day, highlighting a disturbing lack of respect for their well-being and rights. The investigation uncovered that these workers endured unsanitary conditions and were often undocumented immigrants, further exacerbating their vulnerability to exploitation. The stark contrast between the retail price of luxury items, such as a Dior handbag selling for $2,794, and the production cost of merely $57 underscores the significant profit margins enjoyed by LVMH at the expense of fair labor practices. Moreover, this issue is not isolated to Italy. The broader luxury fashion industry has been criticized for relying on subcontractors who employ underpaid workers, including immigrants from countries like China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. These workers often come seeking better opportunities but find themselves trapped in exploitative labor conditions with little recourse. The disparity between the high prices of luxury goods and the meager wages paid to those who produce them raises critical questions about the ethical implications of luxury branding and consumerism. LVMH's response to these allegations has been somewhat vague, While the company states that it takes such claims seriously, critics argue that it has not provided concrete solutions or sufficient oversight to ensure compliance with labor laws across its supply chain. The need for greater transparency and accountability is evident as consumers increasingly demand ethical practices from brands they support. Additionally, LVMH's commitment to corporate social responsibility has come under fire. Although the company has initiatives aimed at improving worker conditions and promoting diversity, these efforts often appear superficial in light of ongoing reports of exploitation. For example, despite launching programs like the LVMH Heart Fund to support employees with disabilities and promote health and safety standards, critics argue that these initiatives do not adequately address the systemic issues related to labor exploitation within its supply chain. The exploitation of labor within Bernard Arnault's luxury fashion empire raises significant ethical concerns that challenge the glamorous image often associated with brands like LVMH. As investigations continue to unveil troubling practices linked to worker treatment and conditions, there is a pressing need for the company to implement more robust measures that prioritize fair labor practices and accountability throughout its supply chain. The luxury industry must confront these issues head-on if it hopes to maintain consumer trust and align itself with growing demands for ethical consumption in today's market. Aggressive business practices. Aggressive business practices in the luxury fashion industry, particularly exemplified by Bernard Arnault and his leadership at LVMH, have significant implications for market dynamics and the creative landscape. Arnault's approach to expanding LVMH's portfolio through acquisitions and strategic partnerships has solidified his position as a dominant player in the luxury market. However, this aggressive expansion often raises concerns about the impact on competition, innovation, and the very essence of luxury itself. One of the most notable aspects of Arnault's business strategy is the aggressive acquisition of luxury brands. Under his leadership, LVMH has expanded its reach by purchasing a variety of prestigious labels, ranging from iconic fashion houses like Dior and Givenchy to watches and jewelry brands such as Bulgari and Tag Heuer. While these acquisitions can lead to increased market share and profitability, they often come at the cost of diminishing brand individuality and creativity. The consolidation of power within a few large corporations can stifle competition and limit opportunities for smaller, independent designers who may struggle to compete against the resources and marketing prowess of an industry giant like LVMH. Furthermore, Arnault's approach can create a homogenization of the luxury market, where the distinctiveness that traditionally characterized luxury brands begins to fade. As LVMH integrates its acquisitions into a cohesive corporate strategy, the unique identities and craftsmanship of these brands may be overshadowed by a more corporate-driven agenda. This shift can dilute the heritage and storytelling that many luxury brands rely on, ultimately impacting consumer perceptions and the overall allure of luxury goods. In an industry where exclusivity and uniqueness are paramount, the loss of brand differentiation poses a significant threat to the essence of luxury fashion. Additionally, Arnault's aggressive pricing strategies also warrant scrutiny. Luxury brands often maintain high price points to preserve their image of exclusivity, yet the push for profit can lead to inflated prices that may not necessarily reflect the craftsmanship or quality of the product. This practice can alienate consumers who are increasingly seeking authenticity and value in their purchases. The disconnect between pricing and perceived value can result in consumer backlash and calls for greater transparency regarding the true costs of luxury goods. Moreover, the competitive nature of the luxury fashion market fuels a culture of secrecy and exclusivity, where brands may engage in cutthroat tactics to outperform rivals. This environment can lead to a lack of collaboration and knowledge sharing, inhibiting innovation and growth across the industry. In an age where sustainability and ethical practices are becoming more important to consumers, the focus on aggressive competition may divert attention from necessary advancements in these areas. While Bernard Arnault's aggressive business practices have undoubtedly propelled LVMH to the forefront of the luxury fashion industry, they raise critical questions about the long-term sustainability of such an approach. The implications of consolidation, homogenization, and competitive pressures can undermine the very values that luxury fashion seeks to embody. As the industry evolves, there is a growing need for a balanced approach that prioritizes not only profitability, but also creativity, authenticity, and ethical practices. Only by addressing these aggressive tactics can the luxury fashion industry hope to thrive in a rapidly changing market landscape. The monopoly. How Arnault limits competition. Bernard Arnault's rise to the top of the luxury fashion world is not just a story of success, it's also a story of control. As the head of LVMH, Arnault has created a near monopoly over some of the most prestigious brands in fashion. With over 70 luxury houses under his umbrella, including Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, and Fendi, Arnault's empire holds a dominant share of the market, making it difficult for smaller or independent brands to compete. Through aggressive acquisitions and strategic takeovers, Arnault has consolidated power in an industry that once thrived on a diverse array of smaller, creative houses. By absorbing or eliminating competitors, LVMH has not only solidified its dominance, but has also pushed the boundaries of what constitutes fair competition in the fashion world. Smaller independent designers and luxury brands now face a harsh reality: survive in Arnault's shadow or sell out to him. As LVMH continues to expand, Arnault's influence is often seen as limiting the entry of new players in the market, forcing fashion into a corporate-driven model rather than one of artistic freedom. Critics argue that this consolidation leads to fewer unique voices in fashion, stifling the creativity that once defined the industry. While LVMH's success cannot be denied, Arnault's near monopoly on the luxury market raises important questions about competition, creativity, and the future of fashion in an increasingly homogenized industry. As we've explored today, the world of luxury fashion is far more complex than the glittering facade suggests. Bernard Arnault, a titan in the industry, has undoubtedly shaped luxury fashion into a global phenomenon. But this success comes with significant consequences. From environmental degradation and unsustainable practices to aggressive business strategies that threaten individuality and competition, the darker side of luxury is a reality that cannot be ignored. The pressing questions we face today challenge us to reconsider our roles as consumers. How can we support brands that genuinely prioritize sustainability and ethical practices? It's vital to recognize the impact of our choices, not just on our wardrobes, but on the planet and the communities involved in fashion production. We invite you to reflect on what luxury truly means and to seek out brands that align with your values. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What does sustainability and luxury mean to you? If you found this exploration enlightening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth discussions on the fashion industry's complexities. Thank you for joining us today as we peeled back the layers of the luxury fashion world. Together, we can strive for a future where elegance meets ethics and beauty embraces responsibility.